Okay. Okay. Hi guys, hello, Michele, it's MicheleMarieDalene, and you can see we had our test pattern up today. In the near future, we're going to try to get the 1 kilohertz tone added to that to make it as per standard SMPTE standard. But anyway, yes, we are live. This is just going on YouTube this time. It's not going out. I keep forgetting there's a delay. You know what it is? Hi guys, hello, Michele, it's MicheleMarieDalene, and you can see you know what this is playing the sound back at you. You know what? I know why you do. Yep. I think I know why. Let's see if we can find the reason for that. Anyway, guys, welcome back to the show, and of course we are. Here's why. God. Good point. Okay, we don't want to hear ourselves. Although it's good for testing the video anyway. Anyway, guys, welcome to Hello, meet everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene. Yes, we have our phones on today, and I've got the screen up, and I need to tell you, I'm really kind of excited about this stuff. So let's go to tools and switch over to the chat screen, since I do have plans to have those up on there here. I changed a few things, so we can switch the effects on here. Here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this window. Boom. Okay, that should do it. So yes, we are live, and yes, we are taking your questions, and yes, the phone is open, and I didn't put the phone number up. I should do that, shouldn't I? Yes, I will. Okay, so phone number will be going up right now. Boom. Okay, good. Phone number. Okay, there goes. Phone number is there on the screen. I'm on the screen. You can see me in the corner there. Maybe you're not too much interested in looking at my ugly face. You're not ugly. You're pretty nice, actually. So anyway, we have some things to cover today. We got the situation with Chuck Schumer trying to threaten that the government will shut down because he's a flaming asshole. Yeah. And I'm just checking to see how we're doing here signal-wise. Looks like we are doing pretty good here. As far as this is just going out on YouTube directly. This is not going out through the other fancy schmancy stuff. So that's a good start. And so go back to the questions here. Yep. Okay, for example, let's get to the notes about what's going on with there's two major pieces of news. The first is that if by Saturday morning at 12:01 a.m. the Senate does not pass another continuing resolution, the United States government will be closing. Unlike Barack Obama's baloney of trying to make a big bullshit story out of it, they are going to make a realistic approach to Donald Trump said that he's going to have the parks will remain open. They will be open. And since obviously I'm going to boring, we just turn me off. Yeah, turn off the overlay. So this makes things more confusing for everybody. And the phone number, as I said, is right there. One of the things that would help a lot if I had two monitors on the Mac. One monitor specifically just to show you the main screen, and the other monitor to show me the controls of the ChemTwist program, so I don't have to use the same monitor to do both. But at this point, that's what we got, so we'll have to make do with what we have. And it's so, unlike the federal government, I can't exactly stonewall the powers to be to all of a sudden shove up some money to get a new Power Mac or iMac. That doesn't work that way, considering the powers to be happens to be me. And, well, I'm looked at my budget, and I can't do continuing resolutions to get the kind of money that it would take to totally break the studio even close to that of Gary Franchi's Next News Network, but I think I'm doing pretty good. Today, of course, is the 19th, and 19th. So if by 100 hours and 1 minute Eastern Time, if the United States government does not come up with a new continuing resolution, the United States government will close until the Republicans and the Democrats can come up with some solution to get the government back on its feet again. How well that's going to go is, as it looks right now, it doesn't look too promising. Donald Trump did have a private conversation with Chuck Schumer on some issue, but Chuck Schumer, just like the North and the South going Zacks, can't seem to make up his, doesn't want to make a budge on his feelings about the delayed action for childhood arrivals, or DACA. He wants that. He's insisting that that has got to be added to the continuing resolution. But technically, DACA does not actually, the temporary provisions for DACA as it stands now does not end until March of this year. So obviously, if they go for a continuing resolution for 1 month, then in February it's going to come up again, and at that point they're going to have to deal with the same baloney all over again. Not exactly what I call a very promising solution to any of this stuff at all. And you can see here on the chat comments, I am getting ready for tonight. I hope I have another good show. I'm not using a fancy set tonight as I have no crew to manage the phones or camera board, which I do not. If you want to volunteer at the North American Snow King Palace, a video crew, email me at pichelle3@gmail.com. You'll notice I made the screen large enough that even on a small cell phone display, given the fact that it's at 640 by 480 resolution, it'll be easy enough for you to read it. That's unfortunately is because of the limitations in the technology. Speaking of the technology, let's quickly go through and explain this to you, what the problem is. The problem is this program here. Now, if you look down here at the bottom of the screen, the current rate is at the frames. Input is at 18 frames per second. The output is at 18 frames per second. Bitrate is at 12. Video is at 270, 614 kilobits per second. Right now, it's pretty static, and the output frame rate is staying pretty steady with no drop frames. This is quite different than it was last night when we were doing it through Restream.io, which was a whole nightmare of headaches. It's still potentially going to be kind of crappy, but that's not necessarily because of T-Mobile. Last night, unfortunately, I had the Frontier was plugged in, and Frontier, of course, basically hijacked over the T-Mobile connection and used everything through the hardwired Ethernet cable instead of through the Wi-Fi unit sitting right in front of me. So this is why tonight we're going straight to YouTube and not through Restream.io, because I think that the other part of the problem is our system was just basically having a bad day at it. So that lets you know what's going on with that. And let me get back to the questions. And of course, we have our phone number on. Yes, our phone is active and waiting for your calls. And we hope we can get some more phone calls like we had last night. We had some wonderful phone calls. Opportunity came in. People had a chance to join us in the chat. And we had a great chat session. And so I'm looking forward to seeing another one of those sessions. As I explained to Ruben whatever in a comment I said on one of my messages, my goal is to get, before the end of the year, those 240,000 viewing minutes and preferably 100,000 or 1,000 subscribers. And I'm going to do whatever I can to make that happen by honest means, which means, obviously, since the live streams seem to be the most popular ones of all, we're going to use the live streams as a means to do that. Right. And I think it's a pretty good idea. I think so too. It's also kind of nice to know if that, if we get more viewers, out of the 223 subscribers, I know that you really would like to have more guests in studio. I also, like I said in the message that's in the chat here, you can see on the screen, I'm looking forward to the day we're going to get more people to volunteer here at the North American Snow Queen Palace to help us continue to grow. We need a crew. I really need at least one, maybe two more people, one person to run the camera and actually be able to man the camera, and then we can go ahead and have maybe the same person, once the camera, if they're going to leave it at a preset shot, or multiple cameras, a preset, then maybe they can just go ahead and just use the control board, so for cam twist, and I could sit at the desk with the green screen behind me, or print the backdrop, and then we could still do the news that way. Great idea, but at this point, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon, which kind of sucks. Yeah, sucks. But Michelle is pretty resilient, so I got a feeling she'll do something about that. Yeah. Now, there's another issue about the FISA memo, which is that several people in both Congress and the Senate are up in arms in disgust at how the Obama administration used the Foreign Intelligence Security Agency and the Foreign Intelligence Security Court to try to get a warrant against Donald Trump, not based on any facts. It turns out that the situation is a lot more serious, and there's a few things. I wouldn't be surprised if they were working with the CIA and the NSA as well to make this kind of dirty laundry a issue. It's just kind of stupid. I really wish they wouldn't do that kind of crap, but they do. That's Congress for you. Now, actually, in this case, it was something that Barack Obama himself, James Comey, and a few others were fully aware of what was going on. We're doing behind closed doors. They're called the deep state, the shadow government, if you will, that are doing that. And that was once they lifted the cover off that cesspit. Ooh, the stench is horrific. Anybody who's ever worked with septic tanks knows what I'm talking about. That smells like. Yep, that's what happened with Obama and FISA. Very true. Okay, so right now a phone number is on the screen, 860-738-8463. Again, that's 860-738-8463. And again, like I said to Ruben, whatever, we're going to be doing everything we can to get as many viewing minutes as we can before the end of 2018. I don't think we're going to hit 240,000 of them, but we know that the live streams seem to do much better for that than the vlogs do, which kind of sucks. Why is that? Because the vlogs are nice and short, and they, you can do them when you first get up, when you're all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and these live streams are not really when you're at your full wide awake state. Well, that's true, but you know what the thing is that, we kind of agreed to the 7 o'clocks because people originally didn't want to do 6 because a lot of people are still eating dinner. And so those people who were eating dinner, of course, ended up joining us late anyway. So it's not like we were really losing any time in the process. Right. So it's just kind of amazing. Another one of those days when you're going to be sitting here. Yeah, well, I'm hoping that there'll be at least a few questions tonight. However, looking at the news wires coming in, it looked like some of the issue is that the possibility of the government shutting down because of Chuck Schumer is pretty likely, considering there's a couple things happening. First of all, John McCain is recovering from chemo from his cancer, so he's not voting. 3 other Republicans said they're not taking any votes, or refuse to vote for a continuing resolution. So that means that the United States government is down by 4 people. Yeah, okay, so in other words, 51 minus 4 is, they have 47. So that means to get to the 60, they need like 14 Democrats to pick up the bat and work with the Republicans to make this pass. They need the 60 because they need that many to prevent a Democratic filibuster, which is what will happen. You can bet you're on that. Because even if they didn't have a Democrats filibuster, they still have the problem is that if all the Republicans had agreed on this and they passed it, with John McCain out of the vote, that means they have 50. That's 10 short needed to prevent a government shutdown by passing the continuing resolution. So they would still need to prevent a Democratic filibuster. Still need another 10 in the optimum situation. So is that going to happen? We won't know until 12:01 a.m. on Saturday morning. Yeah. Now, of course, one of the things is that unlike Barack Obama, he's not going to make a big stinkeroonie about trying to cover up monuments with tarps and all that. In fact, Donald Trump said we'll have the parks open. They're just not going to have any staff to take up the garbage or clean the washrooms or anything like that. It's just going to basically be, you go in there, you use it, if the toilet's dirty, well, that's your problem. Unless you want to bring some toilet cleaner from home and clean it yourself. That's an idea. Yeah, bring your own toilet brush and toilet cleaner. That's pretty much what it is going to come down to. But he also said that the military, unfortunately, would not get paid. Firefighters would not get paid that are fighting the fires out west. And that's going to be a problem because people need that money. And Dianne Feinstein had the nerve to say, we don't want a government shutdown because people will die. Well, she didn't explain this why people will die. Here's why. If you got enough people angry, especially firefighters who are going to be working without pay, and this goes on for weeks, I don't really know how long the shutdown will continue for because, these people, as I said, they got to come up with a solution. If they don't come up with a solution, the government doesn't open. So, that's going to make a real problem. Is that going to affect our Social Security checks this time? Not. Is it going to affect our Social Security checks if it protracted? Goes on and on and on and on and on? Probably will. But as the programs that kind of more extraneous programs being supported by the swamp creatures run out of funds. Those programs kind of just die out by attrition, and that's just the way it's going to go, I think. I really want to go get the other phone so we can see how it's coming in on the screen. Really? Well, right now it's quiet. I think we can quickly run and get the other phone, and then we can take a look at the screen on that and see how we're doing on that, on the frontier, and see if the screen is indeed readable. Alright, so let me do that. Let me go get the other phone, and I'll be right back. Oh, I hate walking around with an umbilical cord like this. Alright. So we are back, and I've got my iPhone here, and as you can hear it dinging along, lots of little messages, a lot of Twitter ones. Next News Network Live, the news you missed. And the keyword released, the memo. And let's see, what else we got? We'll just take a look at our video here first. Yeah. Let's just take a look and see how we're doing here. And I gotta turn my sound down because otherwise it's gonna get confusing, and a lot of my audience might get a little bit confused and frustrated with the sound. I can see the picture here, so I'm looking at it. I'm just turn the, you just turn the bringer volume down. Oh, okay. We don't want to do that. Okay, well, I can see right now, looking at the screen, I can see everything looks good. And the first question I wonder is, where is everybody? I don't know. This place yesterday was hotter than a live wire. So yeah, that's a good question. Where is everybody? Probably a lot of them are seriously watching what's going on with the situation with the shutdown or the FISA memo. Oh, I am too, because the memo is a big deal. We're seeing so many things going on with the deep state and the FISA memo, and it's just nuts, guys. Seriously, it is nuts. Not lying about that. So, waiting for news to develop on the computer phone here. YouTube is sitting there. So this iPhone is not the fastest thing in the world, but it's working. It just is slow. Yeah. Okay, so right now we are taking phone calls and we are open. And last night I came in here, this place was more lively than a live wire, and today, of course, it's quiet, and it's just kind of annoying. But I think it will become more active as we go. Let's see if we can try to speed this thing up here. There we go. There's the video. Let's see if we can get to play. Live wire, and today, of course, it's quiet. And yep, it plays fine. Phone number shows up on the screen, and you can still read our comments that we posted, obviously on the iPhone. So that's a good start. It's a little fuzzy, but it's expected because you got this resolution is not exactly. But then again, it's okay, I guess. It's okay. So, lots going on. Lots going on right now. Really. It seems like so many people are not really too sure what the future holds. Well, I think it's because it's called generic chat. I think some people are probably saying it's holy crap. What's that going to be like? Generic chats are generic chats. Really? That's what they are. They're just generic chats. And so let's take a look and see what's going on here as far as the big news here. The twin. Wow. Let's see what is Next News Network's talking about today.
As the FISA memo makes its way through Washington, D.C., the swamp creatures are scrambling, the Trump family reacting, and Donald Trump Jr. activating beast mode. Yes, reacting to the FISA memo, dropping 3 savage words on the top Democrat, Adam Schiff, the hashtag going viral, release the memo. Yes, my friends, it is time. Joshua Kaplan for the Gateway Pundit reports it on Friday. Donald Trump Jr. joined millions of Americans in demanding that the shocking FISA abuse memo be released to the public. Now, he issued out several tweets. He makes one prediction. Democrats will take an even stronger stance on shutting down the government, so that becomes the narrative rather than talking about the release of the apparently very damaging memo. Media will obviously be complicit in helping them. Hashtag release the memo. Now, of course, we are actively engaged in helping get this memo out, so we're not participating in the cover-up like the liberal media, like the fake media, like the CNN and MSNBC, or even Adam Schiff. We're going to be focusing on phony stories. This is the news the American people need to see. Now, he went on to continue here. Americans deserve to know the contents of the memo. Democrats and deep state government officials are doing everything they can to protect those within the government who use their positions of influence to target those they disagree with politically. Release the memo. Now, Trump Jr. went on for the kill shot against the Representative Adam Schiff, tweeting out this: "Hey, Adam Schiff, you were very vocal after and almost certainly leaked info during my private testimony. All of a sudden, you're rather quiet about this memo. I thought you were all about transparency. Full of Schiff. Hashtag release the memo." Yes, my friends, it is time to release the memo. They state here the real estate businessman followed up his savage tweet about Schiff, asking, is there another tweet? Do we have another tweet here? No, just that one. Now, on Thursday, the House Intelligence Committee quietly voted to make available to fellow House members a memo documenting the abuse of the FISA program, according to Chad Program. And upon learning of the report, the co-founder of the Federalist tweeted this out: "Blocking documents is a super weird thing to do. As Democrats assert, all they want is transparency. What are they trying to hide?" And then he put out this: "Schiff and the rest of the House Intel Democrats saw the DOJ FBI FISA docs on the dossier over a week ago. The lack of any leaks, plus their votes today to block release of that info, suggests that the documents are catastrophically bad for the Democrats." Now, as we previously reported, Adam Schiff, he tried desperately to distract from the actual FISA memo firestorm, and this is a tweet he put out. "The House Intelligence Committee just released this testimony, blah, 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 blah. No one cares what you have to say because it's just a freaking smokescreen distraction." Yeah, we just did a report on it, so we're not going to waste any more time on him, but that's all he's trying to do. trying to redirect focus back to some obscure mention of money laundering in Glenn Simpson's already leaked testimony. Okay? Unbelievable. Now, I think that being savage is absolutely hereditary for the Trump family. Don Jr., he's exactly right. So now you know what to do. Keep the pressure on until this memo is released to the public. Call this number on the screen right now, 202-224-3121, 202-224-3121. That is the number for the Capitol switchboard in Washington, D.C. Ask them to connect you to your representative so that you can contact them, tell them you want them to make this memo public. The American people need to see it. Justice needs to be served, and we need to drain the swamp. Yes. We need to close the game on this investigation. We need to lock up the swamp monsters that are still sitting in the Department of Justice and the FBI, the people who are entrenched from the Obama administration, the Hillary loyalists. They need to be put in prison. Okay? The information in this FISA memo is so damning that it could destroy these people. So let's get this out there. The hashtag release the memo. Make sure America sees this, despite the fact that Twitter is continually suppressing this hashtag. Hit the share button, and then we'll see you. Weigh in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts, too. I'll see you at the next report. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi.
And that was from Gary Franchi's Next News Network. It was the latest news on the situation with the FISA memo, which is not directly associated with the 702 program that was just reauthorized by Congress, but it is, rather it does work with that FISA as well. So really, really, quite a bit of material that Gary Franchi's News is covering. Of course, we are also covering the government shutdown potential as well. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. Good, bad, ugly, yeah, it's all there. Now, as far as other things go on this channel goes, we're going to do everything we can to do something very similar to get you to be a viewer and a subscriber of the North American Snow Queen Palace. This is actually a news information channel as well. Very, very big stuff here as we go through. And tonight, it looks like it's going to be one of those quiet nights. It seems that Friday, in this case, is just one of those days that just doesn't seem to have anybody really present at all. Kind of sad. Kind of sad. Yes, kind of sad. And so what's your story, guys? What's going on with all of you and things like that? Are you ready for the potential of a government shutdown, or are you guys kind of going like, really? Let me just mute the tweets here. And what I also will do is, since this is such a big deal tonight for news, I want to go ahead and get the other cord so I can plug my phone in to this as well, so we can have the sound going right to your ears instead of going through me. So let me go get the other cord and we'll be right back. And while we're doing that, I can still talk to you, of course. You just have to be aware that I'm going to be away from the headphones as I go dig out a cord right now to cover these issues of import. Here it is. There it is. Of course, it's going to wrap around. Yep, indeed. Okay, so we're going to plug our iPhone into the switchboard, and that way we can play the news and stuff as we go, because it sounds like Gary Franchi has a few more pieces coming up as well. And we know that InfoWars has got pieces as well going on. So there's a lot of news going on about different things. Right Side Broadcasting is also covering issues of what's going on So let's get to the Gary franchise. The Next Illusionist released a memo, or let's say what else we can go to for live and late breaking. This is just so important because we got so many things to cover. We got the shutdown of the government potential. We have, and of course we got something here from InfoWars as well. Wow, lots of stuff, lots and lots of stuff. Right Side Broadcasting, what are you up to? U.S. last on the boat on the government shutdown. There we go. We're going to go to that. That sounds like something we can use and cover as well. Let me turn on the sound here, which is on the MP3 player. Right now, it's actually no sound right now. It's just them just showing a screen. At this point, they're not actually talking. No. Okay, so I noticed that a lot of the people there, but it looks like they're in recess at this point. So, a few odds and ends people will check on that one as we go through tonight. So let's go to, let's see. Let's go to Next News. Also, we got the keys, which is. Well, let's go to Next News first, since that's on hot and fresh from Gary Franchi's Next News Network. And for those of you who don't know, he's on YouTube. You can find his channel there.
Where I'm just like shaking my head. You've got to be kidding me. I can't believe they did that. So I think it's something that is really significant. I think that the American people need to see it. There's growing support in the House to make this public so that the American people can see. And here's the thing. The memo's done in such a way where you can easily make it public. There aren't, it's classified top secret, but there aren't sources and methods here. So I don't think that would be a problem. Let's get that out there so the American people can see how this whole collusion thing was going on during the campaign.
Does it? Can you say this? Does it help us answer this question? Did the Obama administration use intel from the dossier, from Chris Steele specifically, to surveil Trump officials?
I think that's one of the central issues in the memo, and I definitely want all Americans to be able to read what actually happened in that respect.
Okay.
Oh, yes. All Americans should be able to read what is in that memo. Representative Matt Gaetz, he believes the FISA memo will see the light of day. And he struck fear right into the D.C. swamp monsters with the bold declaration stating, quote, I have every confidence after speaking to Paul Ryan and Devin Nunes that after we go through the right procedures and provide notifications to the executive branch that we will release this memo. My friends, this is huge, huge news. So you know what to do. Keep the pressure on until this memo is released immediately. Action alert. This is the first action item. Hit that share button with the hashtag release the memo and then write this number down, 202-224-3121. Call your DC swamp creature and tell them you want the memo released to the public immediately. When you call, ask to be connected to your swamp creature. I mean, don't use those words. Your representative in D.C. and demand that the FISA abuse memo be declassified because the vote is about to happen, and we need to get all the votes we can so that the American people see the truth and so that justice will prevail. We want people held accountable. This could take down the entrenched swamp monsters in the Department of Justice. This could take down the entrenched swamp monsters who are in the FBI. Obama's and Hillary's henchmen are still lurking in the swamp, and this memo could finally end them. 202-224-3121. Hit the share button, and then leave your comments and thoughts below. We'll see you at the next report. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi. Before you go, I have a special announcement to make. Friends, this year we have seen record-breaking disasters hit the United States, and I want you to be prepared for whatever lies ahead by visiting preparewithgary.com. We've seen apocalyptic-level hurricanes, floods, and wildfires, not to mention the constant threat of a strike on the continental United States from North Korea. Just one EMP burst over the United States would knock us back to the Stone Ages for months, not years. Now, I want you to go to preparewithgary.com, and for the small price of just $67, you could buy some peace of mind knowing that you have 70 servings. Take a look. This is the actual box that they sent me.
Okay, you got a phone call. Go ahead, call, you're on the air.
Oh,
yeah, what? How you doing today? Okay, well, at least I know somebody's watching it. Yeah, but actually what Gary Fritz is saying is true. Guys, look, this memo is important. There is going to be a vote for that, and it could be a very big deal. Even Alex Jones talks about that on his news, and we also got the vote going on, or will be going on soon, with the, right now, it's not actually voting, they're just, it was at recess, it looks like somebody's coming back in now, so let's go to Next News Network and see if there's any, no, it's still at recess, but they're like people there, but they're not voting, they're not talking right now. I see that. Okay, so really serious issues going on here that these people are not aware of. Absolutely. So let's take care of this call. Go ahead, call on the air.
yeah, I'm calling for a favor from the North American Snow Queen.
Whoa. Can you repeat that, please?
I'm calling for a favor from the North American Snow Queen.
That's me. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Ariel. I am coming from Jerusalem. I'm traveling to the United States of America. I'm going to be visiting New York State, and I'm going to be doing that here in 1 week, and I'm curious if there's any way you could stop the snowing.
Stop it snowing, huh?
Yes, in New York State, at least within the week. Like I said, it'll be my first time traveling to the United States of America. And I was told online that the North American Snow Queen is the one that makes the snows. So if you could just go ahead and put into that for maybe 8 or 9 days of my trip, I'd really
So
appreciate
which part of the United States are you in?
I'm traveling to the United States. I'll be traveling to a state called New York.
So you're upset because it's still snowing in your part of the United States?
No, I'm not in the United States of America. My name is Ibizadi, and I am from Jerusalem, and I'm going to be traveling to the United States of America for the first time.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you that part of this situation is actually a little more complicated than you think, and some of it is way out of even my ability. The first thing is our sun, that's that big ball of fire in the sky, is right now is not producing enough solar activity to send those little bursts of solar energy to the United States in the form of solar energy flares. That means that the upper atmosphere is running colder. In addition to that, you also have all the volcanism going on all over the world. It is increasing the amount of particulates in the upper atmosphere, which is also resulting in the sun energy that is out there is not getting to the ground itself to keep the upper atmosphere warm. And then remember, most people keep saying that global warming is a man-made thing, but in this case, global warming ain't going to help any because it's not working out. We get more ice glaciation going on. Yeah, I was just reading some of the comments here. And, but honestly, how are you managing in the weather? Because we are already seeing in the long-term trends, as it proven out by Adapt 2030.
I am managing just fine. Like I said, I haven't come to the United States of America yet, but I've been told that New York is snowy right now. and I was also told that you could cast a spell to clear up some of the snow. So I was really hoping to have you do that.
Well, right now, all I can say is that the most important thing that DAP 2030, Ice Age Farmer, and myself have been telling people for a long time is that the IPCC has been telling you a bunch of lies. They should have been preparing for the reality is that our Earth is going into a cooling stage, possibly very similar to that of the Dalton minimum, or worse, into the modern minimum, which was a period of time of almost, oh my God, how long was that? It was a long time. It was like 500 years or something like that. The mini ice age. The mini ice age.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. I'm going to have to go, though, because I need to find somebody who can cast the proper spell to stop the snowing, because I'm not looking to get my feet wet. But anyways, now, you have yourself a wonderful night, and Allahu Akbar.
Well, you gotta slow down a little bit so I can catch up with your words, because...
Wonderful. Allahu Akbar. Have a wonderful night. Bye now.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to say is that... Oh, first of all, let's talk about that right now real quick. The weather is cooling. The skies are cooling. The upper atmosphere is cooling. And if you think that it's going to change just because you think the world is going to be better because somebody trying to spray aerosols into the upper atmosphere, it's not going to happen. No, unfortunately. In fact, you see, one of the things that was going on with geoengineering, part of it that IPCC wanted to do was they didn't realize that trying to block the sun coming into the United States, not today. Actually, I don't even have any candles left. No. But I can tell you where to get them if you want to get some. You can get them from www.friendsco.com. That's www.fr. Let's make sure I got it right. Friendsco. I think it is right. FRENCCO.com. That's in Arkansas. They sell the candles and the different things that you would use for workings. If the worst case scenario, you can use regular household taper candles, but make sure to properly anoint them with and proper blessings ahead of time to prepare them for use in the rituals. As far as geoengineering goes, it's bad. It is bad. It's going to make it worse because the idea is that the IPCC, that's the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, was for a long time was trying to push the idea that we need to try to cool the earth because we thought the world was going to go into runaway heat mode. And that's not happening. That ended around 2007. 2006, 2007, around there, yeah. And so then the Earth starts to cool down. The Arctic ice and the Antarctic ice sheets are rebuilding up very strongly. The cold temperatures that we're having and the snowfalls, in part, are due to the upper atmosphere, but also the way the jet streams are going about. I don't think Donald Trump could do anything about that. It would have to be a concerted effort of all the countries. And one of the most important things that you can do as individuals is to prepare for those long, cold days. Because they don't want to start a panic. That's why. They don't want to start a panic. That's why the IPCC is not telling the people the truth. However, Sven's work, Adapt 2030, MicheleMarieDalene, Ice Age Farmer, and many other scientists who are willing to come out and speak openly about this are not getting the kind of press that they need to for people to hear them. That's where, again, YouTube is important. Because YouTube, as Michelle will tell you, is how the news is shared in this 21st century. Back in the old days, it was easier to hush-hush it because people didn't have access to the mediums that we do today. We have access to social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, other sites. And, well, yes, he's already made efforts to stop the chemtrail program. I'm talking about Donald Trump because he's already said that he does not support the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change from the United Nations. No, I haven't. No, Michelle hasn't been watching most of the channels. She's been so busy trying to keep up with all the news going on right now. Especially, as she pointed out, the piece by Gary Franchi about the FISA memo, the potential government shutdown, the many other things. The YouTube AdSense issue is becoming mainstream news, as Michelle sent a copy to one of the members here on her audience, Beaver Time. That's on her comments to him. I will when I get a chance, probably later tonight. Yeah, but you guys still write the part 2 of the Winterville story too. Yeah. Oh, by the way, there's an interesting twist. There's gonna be the interior of California is filed article declaration of independence from the rest of the state of California, because they want to remain in the United States, whereas the western part of California wants to become its own sovereign republic. So if I don't know how that works out exactly, but they did do exactly what was required to create the awareness of their situation. Your encyclopedia dramatically wiki has been well, you know, it's funny you should mention that. I don't even know about my encyclopedia article. I did start creating a Wikipedia page on my situation a couple of years ago, but I never finished it. So if you would like to, I wouldn't necessarily block them unless I can see the piece that you're talking about. So if you got a URL or link to that so I can look at it, you can send it to me at bichela3@gmail.com. Again, that's B as in boy, ICHELA3@gmail.com. And of course, I would rather look at the information before I do something rash. Esmeralda, is there some reason you did that? Let's find out. I don't think he said anything necessarily nasty. I don't think he did either. Sometimes. Let's see. So let me see the message. That's not a reason to block anybody, Esmeralda. Really, that is not really a good reason to block anybody. So I think, let's see here if I can get him back and to message here. No, I don't want to hide user on this. No, I actually want to leave that. What People Peace is saying is a valid point. So Esmeralda, that's not a reason to block them. In fact, I don't even see her actually talking here. Just don't forget that she's here, but she's, in fact, let me find out where everybody is here today. Who's on here, who's in chat. There's a lot of passive people in the background. And participants, let's see. We got People of Peace, and I found the next Christian. Esmeralda Rivera is in the background there. She just hasn't spoken up. So, please do not block people unless, since I'm obviously here watching the chat, unless it gets really out of hand. You have the special privilege of using the wrench. Well, that doesn't make it any better. It was his opinion. That's not what I want you to block people for. It's, you know, I'm really concerned more when people are threatening people or, you know, just acting like flaming assholes. If you're not acting like a flaming asshole, I don't think you should block anybody. I don't know. He's just letting me know about a wiki page that I have no idea what that is. So, people, peace. If you want to send me an email with a link and keep it private, we can do that. We can discuss that in private. My address, I'm going to type it in so you can all see it right now. If you want to talk to me in private, let me get to my cursor screen on here. Thank you. Okay. If you want to send something personal / private, please email. I'm terrible typing and talking at the same time. Me at bichle3@gmail.com. That way I can still see the messages. If it's really okay, if there's obviously something you want to send me that's personal, confidential, that's the best way to do it. If you want to make a public posting here, if INTCC told you what the wiki people called him and troll for it, read carefully. Okay. Right now, as like I said, we're going to try to keep this thing focused on the topics that I am already covering tonight, which is the FISA memo and the potential federal government shutdown. I also will be discussing, and more than willing to discuss, what's going on with YouTube policies as well. Because I believe that there are some people who may be unaware of exactly what's going on and why we're going to be doing live streams almost every night. That's right, folks, almost every night. Because I need to get 240,000 viewing minutes a year and 1,000 subscribers, so that I can get my channel making money again. Now, I know that's not a lot of money. You know, we're talking about maybe about $100 a year, but you know what? I'll take that $100 because that's the kind of things that I need so that we can make this channel better and stronger and more resilient. And right now, let's be honest, folks, this computer is a 2006 Intel Core 2 Dual iMac. It is old, it's slow, and it's sadly enough, I don't know how much longer it's physically going to last. It is working fine now, but there is parts in it that are starting to show their wear, and one of the parts happens to be the hard drive. It's the original one put in from when this computer was made, 160 gigabyte hard drive from Mac Store, a Seagate. It's a Seagate? Yeah, it's a Seagate drive, I'm sorry. That has never been replaced. And it's got power supply problems. That a call of love, that's more River. I would say, guys, let's not go into cyber bullies right now. You want to talk about bullies? I think that Chuck Schumer is a bully. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. That's not a reason to be doing that. You want to time out him for a little bit? That's fine. But at this point, I think we should try to focus on. We had a wonderful conversation last night, and I'd like to continue. And don't worry, guys, if for some reason you get blocked, Michelle will unblock you at the end of the night. So, so don't panic. Michelle is well aware of what's going on. I would say Esmeralda is not hide people, but rather, I would say, hiding them, or giving them timeouts is okay, but blocking somebody outright is just, yeah, it's really not cool. So don't report them unless they're really, really nasty. So don't worry about the user being hidden. But just, I just don't want us to get into that again, okay? Well, right now I haven't really worked on the book today. I've been so busy studying the government shutdown and the FISA memo information that, as I said, truth is stranger than fiction. What's going on with Eastern California wanting to become its own country, or no, sorry, its own state. Well, you know, you can hide them for yourself, too. I'm not saying it's good for anybody to harass anybody. So I would say let's keep this conversation on good level tonight. So, I mean, I just don't really want to get into that situation, because one of the things that we're having these chats for is we're trying to keep the dialogue open. And also, the idea is that hopefully by the end of the year 2018, I'll have my 240,000 minutes of viewing time, and then we can get 1,000 subscribers, and then we can start making some money again through AdSense, which is what I need to do. And really, guys, this is not just a hobby. This is, for me, is a big deal. So I'm just asking everybody to please be respectful. I understand that, Esmeralda. I understand that. But remember what Jesus said. You know, if they mock you and hurt you in my name, be rejoiceful, for what they have done to you, they have done to me also. So, in this case, the whole point is that I don't really want to go into that. Upload test. I think this is all backlash will lead to YouTube changes. I think so too. Because if you see people from channels that have channels since 2010, and they never, and even older channels than mine that are small, those channels have no strikes, no copyright infringements, no nothing. Those people are the ones who are going to get the equivalent of getting very upset with YouTube. It's not fair to those who have worked their butts off to remain in good standing for all this time. And I agree with that too. You know, all along you're just a YouTube for the money, Michelle. No, it's not the money. No, Michelle's been doing it also because she likes doing it. She likes sharing with people. It has nothing necessarily to do with the money. We're not talking about millions of dollars here. We're not Logan Paul. We're just a small little channel. My channel is even smaller than Michelle's, and my channel doesn't even have AdSense. Never did about it, because Michelle has always said that, because it would be harder for me to go on AdSense, because number one is, as a spiritual advisor, as a spiritual teacher, I don't feel I should be charging for that kind of information. That should be free. When I'm not going to go out there and start putting advertisements on my videos that may not necessarily support the spiritual openness that I'm trying to promote. I agree. I don't know about that. Clarify 2324. I think her family cares about her a lot. I'm sure that if we all met each other over a couple pizzas, I bet we all get to know each other pretty well, and there's no reason why we couldn't do that. But the only problem is none of us lose. Okay, Esmeralda, block him. I'll do it. Now, that is a little bit extreme, Clarify. Don't you think you owe her at least an apology? Smart man. Or woman. You know, that's not what we want. No. So, Esmeralda, I care about you, and I care that people have said these nasty things about you or anyone else. I'm not going to tolerate that. But I got to be honest, I got to be careful, because I might accidentally block the wrong people. Right, and I think that would be kind of a sad thing. So, the most important thing is, I want to get back to the YouTube thing, is yes, I think once enough of the small channels speak up against this that YouTube may change their policies. Right now, that YouTube has decided, since the software system isn't working, the robots didn't work as well as they expected. You're welcome, Esmeralda. I have no problem doing that. As I said, there are times when you have to, but there's times when you should be careful. I haven't really learned how to do Twitch. I do know about the emojis, but we got emojis here too. You don't really use them much. I use emojis once in a great while, but no, not really too much with emojis. But like I said, the Twitch thing is my video is uploaded to Twitch, but after it was done being live, I couldn't find it. To see how the quality looked on the Twitch side of the system. So I just kind of, besides I saw that last night that the FMLE was having a real conniption with the system. It just wasn't doing well with Restream.io. It said that there was drop frames all over the place. The performance was really, really atrocious, and the one person that showed up on Twitch out of all the whole live stream was abysmal. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. And what she's saying is you can make custom emojis that your chairs can pay to use, sort of like a badge of status. Okay, yeah, I could see that, but right now I don't really have anybody on Twitch. If you guys are on Twitch and if you want to join me on Twitch, that'd be great. And we could see about maybe continuing to use Restream.io. Okay, so is there any reason why you need to post that information? Esmeralda, if you feel that's inappropriate, you can hide or remove that message if you choose. It's up to you. My difference is, of course, my address is publicly on my YouTube page, so I have no problem people having it. So that's up to you, But like I said, I'm not going to go out there and I don't want people to just go out there and start blocking people willy-nilly. It's not something that I want to do. But as far as the idea that people are having custom emojis, yeah, it's an idea. Originally, emojis were very popular in Japan for texting instead of typing in Japanese because it was easier. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but seriously, let's see. I can pull up emojis here. I don't know how this works on this thing. Oh, okay. Well, let's see here. I don't want to mess up anything on the computer. How does that work? There's an emoji. Oh, here we go. So, just looking at the ones. Those of you who are watching the screen, you can see what I'm talking about right here. There's a few. The smiley one's kind of cute. I like that one. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But now you can actually type that one. There you go. So there's one of the generic emojis that YouTube has. Remember when you're using the desktop, I know the newer Mac OS versions have built-in emoji keyboard support, whereas the older systems don't. Mine doesn't. But then again, I originally, when someone told me this computer had line on it, and it just ate all the space. Okay. He went to go eat dinner, and then he's back. Right now, Michelle didn't eat anything except lunch at the soup kitchen. It was potato and ham soup with French cut green beans on the side and a roll with butter, and Michelle had 2 bowls of soup. Yeah, we had ice cream for dessert too. It started out with vanilla ice cream with chocolate. Oh, actually, chocolate ice cream with chocolate sauce, and the second one I had was a vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce. Right, back to the chemtrails. Donald Trump, as some people have said, doesn't seem to be pushing the chemtrails to anymore, or because he realizes that they are not healthy for the environment. They contain aluminium, which unfortunately also has a habit of causing harm to creatures that eat the aluminium when it gets to the ground. They also tend to be a colossal waste because the airplanes that are placing them into the upper atmosphere are burning a tremendous amount of fossil fuels, and those fuels are adding carbon dioxide to the air. And so it's just not working out with the chemtrails. No. Okay. Well, just like the other Lumi did the same thing with Michelle's picture. That's why I changed the picture. That's why we changed the picture. But Michelle rather keep her original trademark image if she could have, but YouTube decided not to work with Michelle on the trademark infringement. Well, they may be, but I have seen a lot less of them in my area, so, and I'm not too far away from Eastover, so, okay. Okay. Channel was a person. Okay. It allows you to stream. Okay, which one does? Allows you to stream to 30 sites at the same time. Well, I know Restream does too, but I'm sure there are others that do as well. Of course, I'm kind of wondering exactly what was the reason why Restream yesterday was dropping so many keyframes. I don't know. That's a great question, but I think the problem is the computer. I think this computer is old. Well, Canada is not the federal government, and the United States in Canada still supports the Paris Treaty or Paris Agreement. It's not a treaty. It was never signed as a treaty. Paris Accord. So, yeah, it's because of the material that's in the chemtrails themselves, which contains the aluminium and other products. I think it's that people, perhaps they are a super fan. Well, that's interesting. What do you mean by a super fan? What, you talk about the wiki page? I gotta go back and read that. Yeah. See, right now I got the screen so big so everybody can read the screen. So, unfortunately, I only see like a few things at a time. Let's see. Back to chemtrails, please don't accuse people of bullying. Well, okay. I'll just say one thing here is, do you think they could be connected to the raising cancer rates? That is what some people say. They could very well be, in addition to the pollutants in biosludge from the sewage treatment plants. If you know anything about the way sewage treatment plants, the solids are separated from the liquids, and they are placed on landfill as dried up poo. And so, unfortunately, human waste has got a lot of chemicals in it. And animals, of course, eat the plants that we're growing in there, and that's making people sick too. Well, that would be an idea. If you want to make Esmeralda a super fan page, I'm sure I got one. I know Michelle tried to start one. I did try to start one, but it just didn't work out with Wikipedia. Do you think they can be connected to raising cancer rate yet? And also, I think it also is connected to it, as I said, is the biosludge. And because what happens is when the sewage treatment plant separates the solids from the liquids, the solid waste is trucked out of town, usually put into a landfill or field, and eventually, of course, the toxins going in for leaching out from the poop is going into the topsoil, and of course, eventually, plants and animals start eating food there, grazing, and especially bad, of course, some of the stuff ends up with livestock. Well, that's true. You could always do that anyway. In fact, there's a... everybody jokes about how Alex Jones was talking about gay frogs. It turns out that there's an agent called... what is it? Altazine? Altazine is something that's used as pesticide that is highly toxic to human beings. Measured ideal maximum level is in the parts per trillion, not parts per billion. So if that stuff actually has a habit of turning men into girls medically, yeah, and it does have an impact on the amphibians and stuff that where this material was used as fertilizer. It runs off and gets into the rivers and the lakes and is feminizing male fish and feminizing male frogs. Also, chemtrails, I know, chemtrails are not exactly being used for cloud seeding. Cloud seeding is another principal use of chemtrails, is to spray things like sodium, salts or something into the upper atmosphere. Let's take the phone call here. Hello, you're on the air.
Go!
You guys are got ridiculous. Okay. By the way, let's keep it cool. Chemtrails or cloud seeding is using, that's right, it's using, I think, potassium iodide. The idea is to encourage the formation of clouds as for nucleation to make clouds form. Chemtrails is just basically using a agent to block the sunlight, using things such as aluminium to block the sun from entering the earth. Not so much to create rain, but rather to just make an opaque covering. Well, I think that's a good point. I agree with you. Absolutely. And I think the problem is even when it's not being done on purpose, or the way that the earth manages our waste management, a lot of the stuff that is, in our atmosphere, our soil, from our foods, getting runoff from these landfills where poop has been thrown around the landfill. There's a lot of chemicals in our waters from runoff. But when you talk about something that is definitely a man-made issue, such as hydrofluoric acid, which replaces stannous fluoride, which is a byproduct from industrial processes, this is also causing damage to the human body and making bones very brittle and very weak. There's a lot of aluminium products being used in many vaccines now, which they say confirms indeed that it does have an impact on the development of the child and creation of possibly with all kinds of autistic spectrum. Oh, go ahead, call you on the air. Is that the kind of situation you're talking about that makes people kind of stupid, like what this caller's doing? Yeah, that's a good question. In fact, the new research posted by the British BBC has said that now the the age of adolescence now starts at the age of 10 and ends around age 24. Yes, I know. I got a lot of them too. I'm going to take some of it. Yeah, right. Well, like the flu vaccine for now, for example, is not effective in this case. But there are things that we can do to prevent getting sick. And the most important one is the easiest. Wash your hands. Okay? If everybody washed their hands properly with soap and water, especially if you got a cold, you won't spread your germs to other people. You never know. You absolutely know. You have no idea what that person might be affecting from. But it's still interesting, though, what you said about the people, the adolescents are saying now really extends from 10 years old to 24 years old. Go ahead, call you on the air. You know, I'm going to tell you this, guys. If I ever find out who this person is, I will give him a real earful. Because eventually I will find out who they are. And I will call them so hard and tell them that it's not appropriate behavior. And it isn't. It makes that person look like a fool. It sure does. It's like, if you're going to do that, it makes them look bad. Because I'm sure that their family and friends know who he is or she is. And that's not cool. No, it's not. So right now, let me turn the phone off so we can talk here without being interrupted. So because we know that he's gonna keep going again, and I'll try in a little bit too. Oh yeah, a lot of times. Oh my God, we get it every night. And that's why I turn the phone off for a short bit, is so that I can, get myself back together and organized. I really don't like doing that because I feel it's like I'm trying to block them, and that's not cool. Okay, let's ring it again. Let's answer it. Go ahead, come on the air.
Hey, I see you here on Twitch. This is pretty cool. You could just call in and talk on the show.
You talking about when it was on Twitch last night?
No. Yeah. And it said to call this number to get on the show.
Well, you got the number now.
Oh, am I on the show right now?
Yeah, this is me.
Oh, that's so cool.
Ask you a question. Do you notify people going live on other social media or just here? I inform people on Facebook, Google Plus, Twitter, and a few other sites. So that, because if I just did it on just YouTube, I did try that as a test, and I still got the same person calling me, even on those channels, when it was just being posted just on YouTube. So, obviously, this person does have access to seeing the notifications about the live stream. So, well, Cuba can't afford to have chemtrails anyway. Fidel Castro's, now Raul Castro's government isn't going to throw money around. Okay, well, thank you very much, Esmeralda, for being here, and I hope that you come back on later on. And, but people, peace, it's true that some countries just can't afford to do it because it's too expensive to do chemtrails. It takes a lot of resources. You gotta fly planes really high up in the atmosphere. And some of the commercial airliners are also spraying the particulates along the regular flying routes. And so, but the United States has clearly cut back on it. Unfortunately, it doesn't apply to everybody. But there's another natural particulate going into the upper atmosphere, which is volcanic ash. Yes, volcanic ash is especially from a super volcano, stratovolcano, that stuff can go right into the upper atmosphere, up into the stratosphere, just like the particulates from chemtrails. And this is the Earth's own chemtrail system. The difference is that we can't really stop that. Okay. He says, have you AHD? Yes. Okay, I think he meant, have you had decent callers who said they called you from a source where you saw your number other than YouTube? No, they never said that. But my number, of course, is now being posted in the latest announcements. So for the studio line, and that's why we have a studio line that's separate from our personal line. We have 2 phone numbers here at the switch, but only one of them is connected to the phone interface. That's the studio line. The other one's Michelle's private number. Right. Alright, so to answer your questions, and if we look at the latest notifications, you see our phone numbers are listed for the studio line in that. And because we do know that there are some people who really do benefit from this ability to talk to other people. And I don't have a problem talking to people. Sometimes when my hearing does get in the way. But, you know, honestly, it's still nice when I can have a good conversation with people. It's just like the reason why I didn't use Google Hangouts tonight is because there's another issue. When you post the link out on Google Hangouts, everybody gets the link. And then theoretically, everybody can start dropping in, like this one guy called ASUC, showing child porn and cannibalism videos when I was on a video with Ed, and I kind of upset me, especially because I couldn't block the guy, because every time I block him, he created another moniker and another moniker, moniker. It was just like playing whack-a-troll. I couldn't get rid of the guy, and whereas at least with the phones, I can turn the volume down or turn the volume off while I'm talking chat. Well, what do you mean by the circle be unbroken, Dixon? What do you mean by that? Will the circle be unbroken? That's an interesting question. So, let me ask this question here. Yes, this is very cool. I used to watch a Christian talk show called Bob and Your Live, who used to do this on America One Channel on, yeah, C-band. Yeah, I know about that. Yeah. And in fact, the American One Channel, I think, still exists on, I think it's still on the, Sky Angel. By the way, C-band, of course, still technically exists. Right now, it's gone all digital, but just like everything else, unfortunately. So even if you have a big 2-3 meter dish in your backyard, no, I did not start a micronation. In my case, it's a story based on the concepts of a micronation. We'll have to look him up. But, but by the way, if you do want to actually realistically see what's going on with a potential situation, how a micronation could form, take a look at Eastern California right now, which wants to become its own state of the United States, whereas the Western California wants to become its own micronation. Just like any micronation, they're going to need to have a, since it's going to be a republic of California, it would have to have a constitution, it'd have to have elected officials, and again, they'd have to be recognized by other countries to become a micronation. And ideal is to be recognized by the United Nations, but that doesn't happen right away. So if the Republic of California ever was to fully succeed in becoming its own country, it takes a lot of work to become one. Well, you can look up the micronation in Google. It's a way you can become your own country. You can declare a piece of property your own as your own country. It's specified under a 1933 document, which has been ratified by the United Nations, that says gives specific policies of what you need to do to create a micronation. So you can find out more about that by Googling what is a micronation through Google. Let's see. What is the latest news on your candidacy? Nothing. No, Deborah Adams never got back to me, and seeing if it's going to give me some suggestions. Her sister has. So I don't really think realistically it's ever going to really happen anyway. I just don't think it's. I don't think I got the stuff. What do you call your micronation? Well, it's technically, it's in the book, it's called Winterville. And in this case, it's just a story, a radio serial that I'm going to be working on. I haven't written part 2 yet. I got to work on part 2. So probably will try to get that out by tomorrow once I get all rested up tonight. And I'll try to get it released so you can hear the radio show or radio reading by Saturday evening. I gotta take time to read it out off the screen. So who else is on right now? Well, we know that Esmeralda said she's going to have some pizza with her family made, and us, well, we ain't doing much. Let's take a quick look at that. Let's see who is on here. Let's see who's on here right now. We have People Peace, Upload Test, me, obviously. Dixon's on. Yep. So, got a couple of you guys on. By the way, Dixon, what do you know about what's going on with the situation in the Senate? Democrats and the Republicans that are kind of threatening each other to basically make a government shutdown. The Democrats want to shut it down, and the Republicans are fighting to keep the government open. The Democrats have said they will not pass a continuing resolution because it doesn't include deferment action for childhood arrivals. Well, yeah, except for one thing is that number one is I don't know what the first step is. I'll give it a try, homie. Thanks. What? That's an interesting question. Yeah. Yeah, but if I lose, one thing is though, if people pieces, it's gonna mean I'd be able to listen. I could do that. Yeah, I could. That's not a problem. The biggest problem is that I did that one time for somebody and I got into a headache. Go to channel, user. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, where is the moderator? Ha! It doesn't seem to offer that option. Really? No. That's really interesting. I can do it later on. People of Peace, I will have to do it on later on the video. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to let me give you moderationship for some reason. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that this thing just doesn't want to give me. Sometimes I can be okay. Sometimes you be mad, entertaining and stuff. What does that mean? Oh, I love your show. Yes, sometimes you be mad, entertaining and stuff. Well, I appreciate that. But, you know, sometimes my shows, we're trying to keep the things, you know, fairly organized. Still can't figure out how to make people peace and moderator. Yeah. I don't know why. Oh, you know what it is? What? Because you got the screen so huge, you're going to have to wait for the screen to scroll up and off this. Otherwise, you can't see him. He's on the bottom. I think that option's on the bottom. Well, let me take a look at that. He just moved up to see now if that changes that. No. Hide this user, report, go to channel, put the user in timeout, remove. Oh, yes. Add moderator. There you go. Ding. Does it really add? Yep. No, yes. He was on the bottom of the list. There you go. People of peace, you know, have your wrench. Do I know Orly Touts? No. Oh, I do not know Orly Touts. I don't know who that is. Well, I know People of Peace a little longer, so I'm gonna see how it goes before I start making everybody moderators. You've been on YouTube for a straight mad time, yo. That's kind of been interesting. Well, I've been around a long time. Whoa. Yeah. So he retracted his own message. Okay. Well, just don't go crazy with it, because there's responsibilities that come with having the magic wrench. No kidding. So, but no, I do not know Orly Totes. I don't even know who they are. Neither do I. So here's the question for all of you guys that remain on here watching this is how, if we had live streams every night, almost every day, I'm going to have to take at least 1 to 2 days off because obviously my brain can only handle so much, but if we had live streams every night, and if everybody watches them every day, can we hit the minimum requirement of 240,000 minutes a year, and then get the 1,000 subscribers? Well, first of all, he's been around a lot longer. But that's, you know, like I said, I know People of Peace. He's called my show on the phone a few times too. So, and I've also talked to him an email, and so have I. Well, actually, Michelle, he talked to you, but I read him too. Yeah. So, speaking of people, what about Rhonda Church? I haven't actually talked to Rhonda lately. She's been having some personal issues with her husband's health. Hello, Deborah Adams. Was going to ask the same thing as the other person. What was that? Well, what did you want to ask me? Do you know Orly Totes? No. I don't even know who that is. No, I never heard of that person either. What's the situation, Deborah, with your sister in the Republican National Committee? You said that you would be willing to work with me to see if we could successfully get my name in the nomination for governor, and I was hoping that you wouldn't get back to me about that, but you didn't. Oh, I don't know who that person is. That doesn't mean that I have to know every single person in the world, because I don't. No. By the way, how many of you think the United States government is not going to continue to be online as of Saturday morning? Do you think the Democrats are going to successfully be able to shut the United States government down? Or do you think that more of the Democrats are going to successfully decide to side with the Republicans, pass the continuing resolution to keep the United States government open? That's a great question. Yes, I really wonder too. Well, you know that Chuck Schumer isn't. He wants to demand add DACA into the existing continuing resolution. You know, that's just not the right time to do that. No, it's not the right time to do that. So, let's see. She says, Orly Toles was the lady who sued Obama because she thought he had a fake... the birther thing. Yeah, the birther thing. Which is still questionable because... As Chef Arpaio's team did some research into Obama's birth certificate, and there is still some questions about the authenticity of it. Well, right now, Obama is in enough hot water with his actions with FISA, FBI, and the Department of Justice. And right now, there is a vote going to be going on to release the latest information about that to the public. Okay. Right now, I think Barack Obama is going to be birthing a big pile of merde, and it's not going to be nice, because I think him and Mrs. Stites there, and James Clapper, I think he's involved too. NSA is always involved. They're sticking their nose in everybody's business. Right. And in the case of Stites and... Not Stites. Oh, what's her name there? Oh, God. It's at the tip of my tongue. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. The former Attorney General. Yeah. That's Stites. But she, this woman, that's right. Oh, her name's starting to come up. I'm starting to find her name. Anyway, she claimed that Bill Clinton talked to her on the tarmac, but she, let's see. Her name is sort of coming up in my files. My brain, I have to go digging around looking for it. Anyway, so she basically told James Comey to turn the Clinton situation from an investigation into a matter because she, I guess, rumor has it, she was promised that if Hillary Clinton won, that she would remain the Attorney General under her. Yeah, well, I'm glad she didn't, because she was really, really elusive and sneaky, and I got a feeling she's just not honest. No. But James Comey was fired by Trump because Trump said basically is that he was not doing the right thing. Well, it looks like he's going to face a possible indictment. So, but I have my own personal doubts with Jeff Sessions too, because somehow Jeff Sessions has not, by recusing himself, I got a feeling he kind of, in letting Robstein control the Assistant Attorney General, control the whole situation. I think he just made a real mess of everything. But lately it seems that Jeff Sessions has been trying to go, well, it's a little hard to Google things up right now when I'm actually trying to watch the chat comments, because if you see on my screen here, I got the screen set huge so everybody can see it. But that means that things roll off the screen really easy, so I gotta read it. I gotta keep up on there. Alright, I'll look it up later on. If you want, you can always contact me by my private email address I gave earlier, and for any private information. So, yep. Absolutely. So Michelle's private information is available. If you want to send me email, it's bichela3@gmail.com. If you want to send Lumi information, it's LUMIFINISTRA at gmail.com. So that's mine. Like Lumi has her own, I have my own, and we try not to mix up each other's emails. So if it's from me, send it to bichele3@gmail.com. If you want to send it to Lumi, it's lumifinistra@gmail.com. Right. So that way, anything that you want to send me, any news articles, anything, or any breaking news that you find that you think they should cover on the show, that's also a good way to get me the information. And then I can look at that as well. Speaking of messages, let's see if we get anything. See. Right now, I got a new reply on an email message. Let's see. What does this say? This is from Beaver time. He said, MicheleMarieDalene is my family volunteered at a homeless shelter for MLK Day. For my own birthday, it is a private party at home. Okay. Well, my birthday, I certainly don't make it into a major holiday, that's for sure. Martin Luther King was a very, very, very smart man. I have nothing against him personally. I don't know him. He died before I was born. But okay, she says, I'll get the information to you by tomorrow. Okay. Can you talk about Orly Tellis and Google her on the show? I'd rather look it up ahead of time, and so I could look it up ahead of time and then maybe talk about it on the Sunday night show. Because like right now, is for so many people, these chat comments are going to be the ones that we all see when this live stream is over. So then we see these comments here, and then when I come back, and I'm going to go replay the video, I got the comments in front of me. So I benefit because I can go back and read these things when I'm replaying the videos. And so can other people. So that's why we post the chat comments, is so that people can see them. Because there's no easy way to save transcripts on the shows. I wish I could do that. I wish Google or YouTube /Google/Alphabet would actually add the ability where I could actually save the chat comments, so I can go back and read them. And that's one of the things I would really wish they had as a feature. It would make it a lot easier, because you always have the transcripts to go back to, so that the way if something goes wrong or whatever, you can always go back, and watch the comments and watch the video. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Deborah, yes, I do know that Martin Luther King was a Republican. And a lot of people did not know that. And of course, James Comey is a big time backstabber. Yes, he is. Oh, so can you tell early tool to go? Oh, I'll try. And but I got a feeling on Sunday's show and also on the vlog for tomorrow, we're going to be hearing either about the government continues resolutions passed, but here the chinny chin chin, or it fails, and then we find out that the government will remain in shutdown mode until the Republicans and the Democrats can come up with a continuing resolution or a long-term solution to refund the government and get it back on the air again. Yeah, that would be... How likely is that? That's a good question. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's see. So how likely do you think it is, Deborah, that the federal government is going to shut down because of the Democrats trying to create a filibuster to prevent a continuing resolution to pass? Now, I already know that Mitch McConnell has talked to Donald Trump about this. I know that Chuck Schumer has had a private meeting with Donald Trump with this, where they basically got nothing out of it. There was some positive dialogue, as Donald Trump said, but he couldn't get Chuck Schumer to agree to get the continuing resolution to pass. And it has to be passed by this morning at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time. And that is approximately, let's see, 00 hours, 1 minute. And that's Eastern Time. If you want to subtract for Universal Coordinated Time, is what? Like 5 hours ahead? 5 hours ahead. So about 5:01 a.m. Universal Coordinated Time. If the government does not pass a continuing resolution, we're all going to find out that the Democrats are going to basically be blamed for doing the most stupid asinine thing. And of course, right before 2018 elections in November, there's likely to be a lot of Democrats that are going to lose their seats to a Republican contender or competitor. So I got to see. That's going to be interesting. See, in 2013, it was the opposite. Everybody was blaming the Republicans for doing the same thing that the Democrats are doing this time. And that is an issue, is both parties are using a government shutdown as a way to try to force the upper hand of the other person, but I don't think everybody's going to play that game. Considering both parties passed the last continuing resolution in early or mid. Okay. Well, we turned the phone on for you. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I had the phone turned off, and we turned that up. And you can try calling now, 860-738-8463. I had the phone turned down. Now it's on now. So you can try calling. It's working now. The phone is on the hook. And I just had the ringer turned down, so I just turned the ringer up. So 860-738-8463 is the number. I had the volume turned down because the last crank caller, which unfortunately has a habit of making it very disturbing for the honest callers that wanna. Okay, well, it's on now, guys. You can try it if you want. In fact, I can test it. There we go. It's working now. So, all right. But why don't you ask your tech question right now, Aaron Jones? Or no, it's Jonathan Hicks. Okay. So if you want to ask your tech question here and type it in, that'd be easy for me to read and make sure I get it correctly. Always helps. Always helps. Let's see. Okay, so, there is always one thing that always bothers me. What's that? When you do live shows like this, and if you have a need to use the facilities, how do you manage to do the facilities when you don't have any way of sending someone to commercial? That's a great question. I never did find a solution to that. Like, if you're, gotta go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden you're like, well, let's take the phone call since I said it's on. Go ahead, call, you're on the air. Guys, let me be honest. If that's the kind of behavior we're going to be getting on the phone calls, some people said they wanted to call legitimate phone calls. That's fine. Go ahead, you're on the air.
Go.
Let me ask you a question, caller, since you obviously keep calling me. Do you realize that you sound like a godforsaken buffoon, asshole, idiot, jerk, son of a bitch, stupid asshole? You have no common sense at all. You've been drinking too much hydrofluoric acid. You have no brains. Your brains have been rotted right through. Yes, your brains are rotted right through. You know why? Because you don't realize that your family and your friends, eventually you're going to find out about what you're doing. And when they do, they're going to make you look like so bad because they're going to find out what you've done. Now, I have people that want to ask legitimate questions. And you're not letting them ask legitimate questions. And that's the rude thing. Okay? Okay? Very simple. We only have one phone line, and... Oh, heck, you're on the air. Okay. That's the reason why we had the phone volume turned off, guys. It's not because of any other reason. You know, we only have one phone line, guys, and we got people like that. Yeah. That's stupid. It is absolutely stupid. My line was busy because there's some dickwad with somebody tying it up all night. That's why. Now, so when people call and start acting like civilized human beings with a brain, it'd be nice. I love having conversations when people are trying to be intelligent and smart, at least in a good way. Let's answer that phone call. Go ahead, call, you're on the air. That's so stupid. 100%. 100% stupid. Really. I guess right now all the jerks are starting to wake up. No kidding. Go ahead, call, you're on the air. Okay. The next time I do that, I'm not even going to bother turning on the speaker. That's a stupid idea. Why? Because you don't know if that would be a legitimate caller. No, because you know why they're doing it? Go ahead, speak your piece. You're not going to listen to me anyway. You're a good one. Listen to the stupidity of that. Wow. Well, it seems to me that it's getting kind of late anyway. I gotta go ahead and freshen up and stuff. So, you know, I want to thank you guys for watching this tonight. Don't forget we have a live stream on Sunday. That hasn't changed. Well, live stream will be on Sunday of this week. And let me just switch the camera over to me. So, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time is the live stream. Just keep aware of that. And of course, it will be using Google Hangouts on air instead of this software. So, I don't think that really makes much of a damn difference, to be honest with you. But you know what? You never know. So, let's go to me here. So you can see me here, guys. So, tomorrow, we are going to be here. We're going to be working on the book and stuff, but this week's segment of Winterville, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to try to get to it, depending on how I feel in the daytime. I'm hoping to get that in. And lastly, don't forget, as I said, Sunday live stream at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday live stream at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, although they haven't exactly made that officially announcement yet. Maybe I might just do it at 7. Might just do it at 6. Oh, no. We already said 6. Oh, it's going to be the regular scheduled time. So, for Wednesdays and Sundays, it's at 6. Right. And, so for now, I want to say to all you guys who called and those that were sincere and decent, I thank you very much for being on the show tonight. I thank you for taking the time to join the show, and it was nice talking to all of you. So don't forget, I'll see you in the comments. Please do, if you are just watching this after the show, or you want to subscribe to the show, please do so. Please do like and subscribe, and of course watch the videos. These are very dynamic. They change almost every day. There's no 2 live streams that are the same. Some are good, some suck. Okay? But that's life, right? And now, of course, I will let you know in the vlog tomorrow what's the situation about the continuing resolution regarding the United States government. And because I'm just as curious as the rest of you are the Democrats really stupid enough to try to force the government to shut down. Because, you know, as well as I do, if they do, what they're going to do is they're going to be destroying their chances for the 2008 midterm elections. And that's going to be a real shame for the legitimately good Democrats that have tried the hardest to do the right things. Please encourage your congressional critters and your senators to please support a continuing resolution to keep the United States government running. This is so easy enough to do. You can call them in Washington, D.C. I don't have the number at hand, but please do call them and tell them to please support a continuing resolution before midnight tonight at 12:01 a.m. because this is going to be essential for you and everybody else to keep your country running. And then we can still discuss the other issues as the time goes. Until Sunday, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.